Pro Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, graduates and friends, hello. The brief for giving this speech said that I was to be formal but friendly and definitely not humorous. Well, Dorothy, I thought, how are you going to navigate that when you spent a huge chunk of your life trying to make people laugh? Even when I made them cry in my books, I throw in a bit of humour to counterbalance it. So, with this in mind, many apologies in advance if I inadvertently make you laugh or you accidentally find humour in these here words. And then we come to the thorny issue of me being not very good at doing what I'm told. Doing things differently, not following the rules, is kind of baked into my DNA. From simply not following recipes because despite all evidence to the contrary, I'm convinced I'm a Michelin-star chef, and to me actively ignoring the people in publishing who told me, sometimes to my face, that black women can't be the main character in rom-coms and thrillers and books that make you cry, I just can't seem to do as I'm told. In fact, let's be real for a moment. I am standing here today because I do not do as I'm told. And it sometimes seems that I go out of my way to do things the hard way, which obviously isn't always a good thing. I grew up adoring books, loving reading and writing, relishing every opportunity to experience other lives through stories. My mum taught me to read and write before I went to nursery. My father always encouraged us to use the library. And I wrote my first book when I was 13, after my mother made the throwaway comment about writing a book instead of hanging out in the streets with my friends. I was actually too much of a nerd to do that, but I did think, yeah, I love books. Why don't I just write a book? So I wrote a book. It was a teen book called There's a Thin Line Between Love and Hate, and I used to write a chapter every night in my exercise books and pass it around my convent school friends in the morning. That book was set in America, even though I hadn't actually been there at that point. Ever since then, my writing and storytelling have stayed somewhat closer to home, and I always try to infuse my books with a sense of place. Those places especially being 3 cities, London, Leeds, and Brighton, that have shaped my personality and experiences of life. I went to college in Leeds, where I first met my husband, as well as writing my first unpublished adult novel. I completed my master's degree in my birth city of London, where I wrote my first published novel. And now I've been given this honorary doctorate here in Brighton, where most of my novels, from book 5, Goodnight Beautiful, onwards have been set. That's what makes this award extra special. There is so much I would love to say to you, but my time up here is short, as well as formal and friendly, but not humorous. Here then are a few things that I hope will help you to maybe not do things the hard way like I do. My first point is this. For the next stage of your life, you're going to have to be brave. I know being brave can be more than a little terrifying, but you are going to have to be brave because the world needs you. It needs your uniqueness, your humanity, your story, your you-ness. The world needs everything that makes you who you are to ensure our societies are a rich, vital, varied tapestry of human endeavour. As wiser people than me have said, there is more that unites us than divides us. And we need to celebrate those points of unity and connection and togetherness, while understanding that we deserve to revel in and honour everything that makes us distinctive and irreplaceable too. There is room for all of us on this planet, and we must remember that. We must strive for that. We are seeing in horrific real time what happens when only one type of voice is listened to, when only one narrative, one story is allowed to be heard. We are on the front row, watching and hearing what happens when some humans are considered more important than others, when some histories and stories are twisted and hidden because the realities of them are too horrendous and shameful to face. Even as governments across the world refuse to listen to us or to follow our wishes, we still need to raise our voices. We still need to stand up and be counted in any way we can. You, the writers, the poets, the artists, the sociologists, the historians, the linguists, the psychologists, the future politicians, the philosophers, the theologians, the future publishers, the teachers, and the educators, you are the ones who can do this. You are the ones who can prove that there is space for everyone in this world of ours. You are the ones with the abilities and tools, the voices and the creative means to remind every single human that the current gaslighting won't work, because we know everyone is created equal. We care about everyone, no matter who they are. And it is you, every one of you in this room, who can make sure that message gets out there in many different ways. You can overtly or subtly subvert the dominating unequal narrative by, for example, writing political essays, producing groundbreaking research, or bumping off truly objectionable figures in your latest murder mystery novel. Say it however you want to say it, but just keep saying it, and keep showing for other people in our global community. Keep speaking out about what is going on in Congo, Sudan, the Caribbean, Palestine, Bangladesh, Kenya, as well as speaking up and out about the poverty and inequality we see and experience closer to home. As civil rights activist and politician John Lewis once said, "If not us, then who? If not now, then when?" Despite how it may sound, I am not saying you have to leave this place and then spend all your life fighting. I am saying we should all do what we can to make the world a better place. Everyone deserves the chance to rejoice in the connections we create in our local and global communities. This brings me to my next bit of advice. Surround yourself with people who you trust, people who will always support you, who will be your cheerleader, who will have your back, but will also respect you enough to tell you, lovingly, when you are being out of order. I have several people like that in my life. They keep me going and they keep me safe, and I hope you find those people for you. Don't forget to be that type of friend for others too. My final point is one that I hope will have the most impact on you. I love my job. I adore being a writer, but like any job, I can struggle with it. Some days it can feel like I am trying to push water uphill, that no one out there gets what I'm trying to say in my books, that I'm never going to finish whatever it is I'm working on. It is then, in those moments of frustration, that I need to remember that the niggles, the worries, the lows, the troubles are only there because I am a writer, because I am doing what I love. And I need to enjoy every maddening, scary, depressing, irritating, uplifting, hilarious, comforting, exhilarating moment of it. That is my wish for you, that you find something that is life-changing, all-consuming, immensely frustrating, but ultimately rewarding and enjoyable too. In my husband's favorite book, The Woman He Loved Before, it says, "Happiness shouldn't be the destination in your life. It should be part of the journey of your life." Let me paraphrase that to say, enjoyment shouldn't just come from completing a piece of work, reaching the end of a particular milestone. It should be part of the journey of your work and your life. Someone quite astute said to me the other day, "You know your job is basically using dead trees to make other people hallucinate." After I picked my jaw off the floor, I felt quite smug that I have a job that is pretty darn cool when you boil it down to the basics like that. A job that has brought me here to you today. I hope you find a job, a way of being, a way of living that is as equally cool. I'm so excited for you all, being at this particular starting point. Please enjoy whatever comes next. Enjoy your work, enjoy your journey, enjoy your life. Pro Vice-Chancellor distinguished guests, graduates and friends, thank you so much for this honour.